Welcome back, brothers and sisters. I am Braden. This is Langley Outdoors Academy, the place where we not only talk about what's going on in the gun world, but also how we're going to fix our country together. And the content that I'm going to hit you right now is the responses are starting to come out from the media. And some of the stuff that the director of the Giffords.org just released, guys, she openly admitted they're on the defense and they're losing. I'm going to show you everything right now. Everything will be linked into the description box below. I always bring my receipts. And of course, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, turn the notification bell on if you are down to pass the rights that we have on to the next generation in the daily fight for that 2A. And thank you for that consideration. And the content today is made possible by American Hartford Gold. I'm going to say a quick word and then we're going to hit this because it's going to be a doozy. The content today is brought to you by American Hartford Gold. And brothers and sisters, with everything popping off around the world, wars cracking off. We've got inflation issues. We've got stock market volatility. We have cash concerns. We have oil concerns. It's a good time to take a look and at least know your options with American Hartford Gold. They are dedicated to offering gold, silver, platinum coins and bars for your investing needs. Whether you want to do it delivered to your door or you want an IRA, Roth IRA, 401k, TSP, they've got options. This is something you guys should check out. At American Hartford Gold, they aim to educate clients about investments in the precious metal industry, strive to provide unparalleled customer service built on trust, integrity, and absolute transparency, while holding a goal of achieving 100% customer satisfaction. Click the link in the description or call 844-727-3199. That's 844-727-3199 or text Langley to 65532. Again, that's 844-727-3199 or text Langley to 65532. All right, brothers and sisters, beautiful people, Second Amendment patriots across this fruited plain. You have to understand what just happened, and I'm going to set this up in light of the Rahimi case. Now, I'm going to break down all the Rahimi stuff, all the concurring opinions, all the dissents, everything, because there was a lot of amazing stuff in there. But a special note that I want to say, the Rahimi case stands out in my history of looking at this and doing all the reporting and the research of SCOTUS decisions around the Second Amendment, because this entire concurrence, the opinion, and all the dissent had nothing to do with the case at hand. It was quite literally about a future fight for either red flag laws or disarming people. Like, literally, it was all about over here and them taking pot shots at each other. I'm going to lay the entire thing out, but for right now, I want to show you what the director of Giffords.org just admitted on MSNBC. And keep in mind, exactly 7 days ago, the Supreme Court was out of touch. They were insane. They want machine guns on the street from the Cargill case. It was off the charts insanity because it's the most common sense gun reform ever, right? Remember that? Well, now, slightly different tone with a little bit more honesty, to be quite honest. Check this out.
What is your reaction to this ruling that says bans of guns from getting in the hands of abusers can stand?
Yeah, well, thanks so much for having me this morning. So, look, this is a huge relief for women, for kids in this country. It's a big win for common sense gun safety. And the vast majority of Americans across party lines agree wholeheartedly. It's very clear that domestic abusers shouldn't have firearms, right? So this is not a controversial issue in the slightest.
Now, there's a little bit of a lie there, because the Rahimi case was not about convicted domestic abusers. The Rahimi case was about assumptions of guilt and domestic violence restraining orders. So there is a little bit of a difference there, but that's not what I want to hit on. We got plenty of time to do that. What she just said was, again, something very familiar. It's odd because every time that they put out a statement, it's always like a vast majority of the population in the United States, both Republican and Democrat, all agree with their points. Isn't that weird? They said the exact same thing in the Cargill decision. Same woman 7 days ago. But now the Supreme Court's not insane because it's a victory for common sense gun reform, right? All right, I'm going to keep going because the second and third clips are where it gets really interesting what she says. Check this out.
And, I think what we saw today is the gun lobby losing. We saw the court ruling on the side of gun safety. And at the same time, I think it's really important to remember that all this decision does is preserve the status quo in this country, right? We have prevented a backslide. But this remains a tremendously dangerous country for women. American women are 21 times more likely to be killed by a firearm in this country than women in other developed countries. And gun violence, particularly homicides, are the leading cause of death for pregnant people and postpartum people in this country.
Oh, wow. You couldn't say women. Had to say, pregnant people. Had to throw in that little little nugget for the far left. So insane we're here on that one. Anyway, that's not what this video is about. The whole point here is it's a victory for the common sense gun reform people, gun control. It's common sense, easy, and it's a loss for the gun lobby. And then she says something that she should not have said. But keep in mind, we're just preserving the status quo. She's trying to reaffirm her support because everyone sees that the infringements that they put forward are getting struck down left and right. Not in this case. So she's going down the road of, remember, we just maintained the status quo. Everybody watching on MSDNC, a hard left audience, we preserved the status quo with the Supreme Court, which last week was out of step, MAGA extremists is insane, and now they've sided with gun safety, so I guess they're okay for this moment. After all the majority of the population agrees that this is the common sense solution. Guys, if you can't see propaganda, I'm trying to highlight it for you. Also, pregnant people are not pregnant women. Pregnant women are pregnant women. I'm just saying. Anyway, let's continue. One more thing where she openly says something that she should not have said on MSDNC. Check this out.
So we still have a gun violence crisis on our hands that's disproportionately impacting women. But, the Supreme Court today didn't set us back, and that's a big win.
The Supreme Court today didn't set us back, and that's a big win. Keep in mind, everything that you focus on, when they say these words, understand what their broad interpretation and their expectations are of delivering that message. This is the executive director of Giffords. Now, over the last 3 and 4 years, you've been fed a constant stream of, well, the gun lobby's on the back ropes, the NRA is dead, the gun rights are gone, common sense gun reform is here to stay. Now, all of a sudden, it is shifted to, keep in mind, we just preserved the status quo, and this is a victory that we preserve the status quo. It has shifted. The verbiage and language is no longer one of aggression and taking forward momentum and winning. It is now one that is on defense. Understand, if you take nothing else from this clip, the director of Giffords.org is now celebrating holding the line at the infringements, not pushing them forward. That is a really big admission, guys. I've got even more coming all over the place from MSDNC here in a second. I got more content. Make sure you are like, subscribe. Make sure I landed that plane. Tell me if I did in the comments field, and I will see you on the next one. I'm Braden. See you later.